Republicans, they're all losing their mind. They don't know what to do. They don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. And you got Republicans who are saying, I can't vote on something without a plan.
Well, thank God.
To me, it's only common sense.
And they had 7 years to get a plan.
Well, thank God for the Senate, because it has been 7 years where they've said repeal this ACA, where 32 million more people had insurance, where there were bottom line insurance coverages that ensured that there was preventive care and protective care and acute care that helped the hospitals with all the charity care issues and burdens they had. And so, you know, we really did expect, just as the president said, that on the day that he got inaugurated, he was going to have the ACA repealed and replaced, and we were going to be moving on, winning every day. And the truth of the matter is that it's easy to say no. It is difficult to come up with a solution.
One of the things he also has been attacking folks who voted against it, including Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. And here she sort of responded to that. And in fact, they are reporting also that the Interior Secretary had called her and made it clear that her vote will determine whether or not this administration supports energy policy in Alaska. That's called a threat. Here's Murkowski.
I don't think it's wise to be operating on a daily basis thinking about what a statement or a response that causes you to be fearful of your electoral prospects.
Well, again, that's one of the things, you know, he attacks her. The dude is attacking people in his own party. Is that crazy?
He attacked the whole House of Representatives when he brought them over there and celebrated the passage of a very bad Affordable Care Act, gave them some cheap beer, and then 2 days later talked about how mean their plan was. So obviously he has no loyalty to anybody. So I'm not surprised at any of this. What I am pleased with, however, is the 3 women who stood up and said that, you know, we're not going to rubber stamp things here in the Senate. It just seems, you know, maybe it is true that women seek power for different reasons. We seek it to make things better, not just to be powerful and have titles.
Let me ask you this question here, going on beyond health care. Yesterday, Trump tweeted his particular position when it came to transgender Americans serving in the military, some 15,000. He says they cannot serve in the military. That has angered a lot of different people. Senator John McCain, of course, said anybody who wants to serve in the military, they should be allowed to serve if they want to. Your thoughts on that?
Anybody that's capable of serving us and is willing to put their life on the line for this country and its security, we should respect that. There's no rhyme or reason or evidence-based reason for the president to tweet out what he did. I don't know, maybe it's before he has his Wheaties in the morning or whatever, but it was just another reflection of his ignorance.
Panel, your thoughts?
One of the things we talked about in the green room was that while we're paying all this attention to transgender, this is crazy, how were they going to put the people out of the military who are already in there? But talk to me a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes, all these regulations that have been basically repealed, so that, you know, especially labor protections.
Yeah. So thanks for asking that question, because, you know, it's absolutely true. We're caught up in all this Russia, and Russia is very important because Russia is not an ally, and we ought not be engaged in supporting Russia the way we do and making policy based upon transactionalism between the president and his family and Russia. But he cannot get legislation to change laws. So what he's been doing is using the Congressional Review Act and his executive order authority to dismantle things that will protect our water, dismantle things that are going to protect the clean air, dismantle things that give workers' rights and protect our whistleblowers. You know, dismantle consumer finance protection issues.
Kim, your thoughts on, again, Trump's decision to say transgender folks cannot serve in the U.S. military?
Well, I mean, look, I agree with the fact that if there's no scientific-based reason, fact-based reason for it, it doesn't make any sense. It's just extraneous waste. I mean, I'm a Republican.
What's extraneous waste?
The process of removing people. It's a waste.
So
it's a waste of resources.
You're saying they should serve in the military?
I think I always am for whatever restricts the waste of resources, of government resources. So
Okay, I don't know what that means.
It
Should
means-
transgender folks be allowed to serve
it
in the
means
U.S. military?
if they're not causing any harm, then let it be.
So the answer is yes. You're Michael.
No, I mean, I think, look, the president is, I think the third tweet he said it was too expensive. And I think a report by Washington Post stated it's around $48 million, yet the U.S. military spends, I believe, $40 million on Viagra. So that's a ridiculous argument.
and-
as far as I'm concerned, I don't care if people
and-
are transgender, they want to serve, let them serve.
And in the last quarter of President Obama's administration, a report came out showing there's 125, I think it was $125 billion in waste in the Pentagon. If they want to find 48
Well,
billion, they might want to
if the
start
reason
there.
is mathematically it doesn't hold water because there's so many more expensive things that we could certainly reduce the cost on
Absolutely.
versus finding
It's not scientific based, it's not
transgender.
evidence based.
Got it.
There was an
It's a
illustration of a commander who was already serving. He's scared to death now, and he doesn't know what's going to happen to him.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong. He
Unfiltered.
wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.